Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sacred Sessions Ireland. My name is Vicky Flanagan, and I'm really excited for today's session. It is centered around Newgrange, a really powerful energy in Ireland. It's quite well known and famous, and we're going to talk a little bit about Newgrange today. And then the second part of this is going to be a meditation that connects us to the healing energies that are available there. So although those energies are present at Newgrange physically, we can always access this energy, collaborate with this energy energetically anywhere in the world. So this is meant to be inclusive. And also, I think it's important to say before I go any further, I'm sharing most of this is my own insights and perception and also interpretation of the energies through my skills as an energy worker, through a daughter of Ireland, just through my own experience as a human being. So know that I'm really appreciative and grateful that you're here to listen to what I have to say and share, but I want you to always center your truth here and know that you've full permission to let go of any information that just doesn't resonate with you. And what's more important today is that you have your own experience that no one can take away from you. So I can share all the knowledge that I have and that I've built up, but more importantly, you get to experience something that you can, that's only for you. That's unique to you. So first, I kind of wanted to talk about, when it comes to this kind of working with specifically energy vortexes. I had a time yesterday where I was on a really beautiful hike and I met such really lovely people that were interested in the work that I was doing. And it was one of the first times that I shared the work that I do in a way that's quite truthful. Usually I get kind of awkward or embarrassed when I'm talking about energy work because I feel like I have to justify it, that I have to prove something in order for it to be validated. And I was asked a question, and for the first time ever, it allowed me to kind of see it in a way that was new. So someone asked me, can I measure it? So when I spoke about, energies that are actually beneath the earth that we're tapping into, we're so focused on what's on the surface, but we haven't really tapped into what's below the earth. And someone asked me, well, can you measure that energy? And I kind of just like stopped for a moment and just kind of smiled. And I realized, number one, I didn't feel like I had to justify anything. And I just realized that that's the time that we're living in, where it's really vulnerable to be curious. Like it takes a lot of vulnerability to show up not knowing fully and to rely on your own intuition. Just to be curious actually, is vulnerable. So when we kind of ask, like, can we measure that? I would challenge someone to say, is that coming from a place where you need permission? So a lot of the time we kind of turn to really cool resources, or data, anything scientific where it can prove something or, show us evidence, and kind of that gives us the permission then to explore further. So I would always kind of challenge, are we looking for permission here before we can explore? Because what Sacred Sessions Ireland is about is actually us relying on our own intuition, where there's no such thing as this is right or this is wrong. And to be frank, we can't really wait for science to be interested in this work so that it creates the tools or the machines that are, good enough to quantify or qualify what's beneath the earth, or that what we perceive. We don't have the time to wait. And we shouldn't have to wait. We don't need permission. So my answer to if this can be measured, I presume it can. But for me, what feels more important is relying on kind of indigenous wisdom or our own wisdom, our innate wisdom and intuition. So I think science is very important, and I think it's a really powerful way to, again, uncover and discover new things for us. But I think when we use that in conjunction with our own wisdom, I think it can be even more powerful and important. So I just kind of wanted to mention that because, another part of me kind of thought, oh, well, I wonder if we did find a way to measure the vortex that I found in Newgrange, what would happen? Because if you think about it in the West, and like I'm being super general, but generally speaking, in the West, we kind of mocked things like yoga or like ancient practices from the East. Even plant medicine people thought was woo-woo and not acceptable. And meditation was something that no one was interested in, breath work. And now these things are really blowing up. But it's not by chance. It was kind of, for a lot of it, science got involved along the way, or there was a way to qualify or quantify what was happening through meditation, through yoga, and even the experiences through plant medicine. And again, I don't want this to become a really markable thing, So, oh yeah, we can measure this work now that I'm doing. So let's track all the different benefits so that we can become practitioners and masters and sell courses and workshops and kind of go again to pillage the land and everything we can. It's like, actually what I want to do here is move away from that and work in reciprocity with the land. So humans have hurt the land so much because we kind of are in this loop now where we're taking so much from the earth. And because of that, a lot of these places that we're visiting, they're very guarded and super protected, which is great, but it just means that it's quite difficult to collaborate with them because they're on guard. So when we show up in reciprocity, which means the practice of giving and receiving, where we show up to support the land and honor the land, giving gratitude or healing the land is like usually quite surprised and delighted with this, that it opens up to us in a really big way, and then we are healed by that, or we can ask for healing then. So that's what we're doing here. So I just kind of wanted to mention that, because especially if I decide to put this more publicly, I think that's really important to take that into consideration as well. So for Newgrange, for those that aren't aware of Newgrange, it is a passage tomb, so it's over 5,000 years old, which makes it older than the pyramids of Giza and makes it older than Stonehenge in the UK. It is based in County Meath, where I live in Ireland, and it was built by Stone Age farmers. So it's like a Neolithic monument, and it contains a passage, and then there's chambers. So the passage and the chambers are all aligned to the rising sun on the winter solstice. So that, that's such a big time for Newgrange. If people want to gather there for the winter solstice at Newgrange, there's actually a lottery. So there's a certain number of people. I think only 12 people can go into the chamber at one time. So it's a really small lottery for the winter solstice. And then around the mount, there is 97 curb stones that are all engraved with megalithic art. So the entrance stone is, very famous for the tri-spirals, and that's unique to Newgrange, and it's also, the spiral is quite unique to Ireland in general. When it comes to vortexes, and I will just talk a tiny little bit about what a vortex is, because I'm sure some people, like when I began this work, I hadn't really got a clue what a vortex was. A vortex is a collection or a pool of energy. So it's energy that's located deep in the earth, and it's made up of earthly energies and also what I would consider as divine energies or universal energies. And they're full spectrum. So that means that they have emotions, they have hopes and dreams, and they have also got like a specific purpose. It's not to say that they have soul and they have essence aspects, but that's not to say that they have a soul or essence. It just means that they can actually engage and collaborate with beings that do have a soul, like us. So when we're talking about a vortex that's as immense as Newgrange, it holds a lot of weight, which means that this is a space that's incredibly like protected and guarded. So when we visit this vortex, we need to be very skilled and have good intentions before we're even able to collaborate with Newgrange. Um, in my opinion, Newgrange is like the matriarch of the energy vortexes in Ireland. So there's many vortexes in Ireland beneath the earth, in the oceans or lakes, and Newgrange is definitely the matriarch, and you'll know what I mean when you feel the energy. Also, I noticed with the energy vortexes, most of them have their own unique colors and again purpose or themes around what they help to heal. So, for Newgrange, when you physically walk on the land of Newgrange, most people talk about feeling uplifted, joyful, blissful, even. It's kind of a feeling like you feel seen and heard and loved. What like that's they're the ingredients for true connection. So it's like walking onto land that knows you, and just that feeling alone, like a land that knows you, that loves you, is kind of welcoming you home. That is so uplifting, and you feel safe and incredibly joyful. So that's they're the feelings that we're going to elicit today, actually. And the Newgrange, in my opinion, it's the manifestation of the earth's love for us. So, its purpose is to love us just enough so we love ourselves. Um, and when we're collaborating with the vortex, its healing light is going to fill our entire being on a human level and on a soul level. So it's going to dissolve any energy that's stagnant, any energy that's ready to be released, so that we can embody more of our essence. And that's where we get this feeling of being, it's like our essence enters the body more fully, so we're enlivened and we actually become love itself, or more loving. When we walk onto land that has, sacred energy, when we go into sacred sites, we actually feel different than we do when we walk into nature. So if you go into your local park, you might feel really calm and really enjoying the peace that you see in the trees and the birds, and it feels good, right? But when you walk onto sacred sites and the land there, because of the energies that are on the surface, and particularly beneath the land, the vortex is going to do its thing. So you're going to benefit from that while standing there. That's why it feels different. It's more powerful for sure. So when we consider what like stagnant energy in the body, we can kind of look at different parts of our life that might be a bit stagnant. It could be in our behaviors, patterns, those ways of being, or it could be in our relationships. It could, more physical in the work that we're doing, where we live, or it could be super small. And it could be in like our wardrobe, or, the products that we use. Sometimes there's a need for the energy that's in our space to leave as we receive upgrades. And that is the purpose of Newgrange. We're going to receive energetic upgrades of the highest light degree from Newgrange. So Newgrange actually works with our soul and our essence for the highest light, and upgrades our entire system to allow more of our essence to be embodied within our physical presence. So this is a vortex that has great respect and love and admiration for human beings, and respects our soul agreements in this lifetime. So we're never going to bypass, our blueprint for, or our missions, or our own purpose, or the lessons that we go through in life that's already planned. And this means that upgrades will only happen as long as it's agreed by the soul, and we're kind of safe in that sense. This is basically to honor all the agreements that we've made on levels, on the spiritual level, if that makes sense. Yeah, and I think it's important to note before we begin the meditation that as we let go and release of energy that's no longer serving us, so we can embody more of our essence, we have to remember that shedding isn't always comfortable. And even if it's something that's not serving us and that we're happy to let go of, letting go, that process can actually feel uncomfortable and sometimes even painful. So just remembering that we're letting go of energy that's no longer working for us, so that we're making space right now to bring in the new. So we can ask that this happens really gently and sweetly, and also to remember that we can do both. We can hold the old and the new at the same time. Even if we go out and look in nature, today I went out for a walk and I could see on the trees that were kind of really dry and flaky, and some of the branches were dead. And that's like the presence of winter. And then if I look on the ground, there were still some rustling like leaves from autumn or the fall. And then, I could even see some moss that was growing on trunks that were on the ground. And that was like the presence of spring as we welcome in new life. So even when we look out in nature, all seasons are happening now, and we're no different. So we're always very much wanting to get to the next thing and the next thing and the new and the new. But this is kind of a reminder that we can hold everything with appreciation and excitement for what's being birthed through us. And I think as we do that, the process itself is just more sweet and just more enjoyable. So I'm not sure if anyone has any questions. I'm happy to answer questions before we go on, or we can just move into the meditation. I will say for the meditation that they are very relaxing. So you're welcome to lie down. Okay, that is absolutely fine. For me, I prefer to sit up for these meditations and maybe have a really comfortable spot. You can even have a blanket and kind of sit back on the wall so you have a nice support. So to be comfortable, that's important, but it is easy to fall asleep. And if you do fall asleep, that's okay. Just know that this work is still happening on a subconscious level. And yeah, so that's what I would say for the meditation. And I'm actually going to share a picture. I'm going to share my screen so that we can just take a look at Newgrange. Yeah. So this is an aerial view of Newgrange. And there's the passage tomb, and then there's the curbstones that go around it. I really like this little area. I perceive the vortex to be this here, kind of around there, but it's so large. And we're also going to meet the mystical beings, like I talked about, the guardians that protect this area, and learn how to honor them and show up with gratitude and gifts before we ask permission to enter the passage tomb. So that's something else that we'll get to learn here today. Okay, so to begin the meditation, again, I invite you into a comfortable spot and not too comfortable. And if it feels good, you're welcome to close your eyes for this. And we're going to come together as a group, as if we're going to take a group tour to the land of Newgrange. And we're going to go there energetically. So let's imagine that everybody that's here today on this live and everyone that's watching this as a recording are together now in an energetic bubble that brings us together as a group. So we can imagine that there is a really beautiful bubble that surrounds us as a group. And we're going to ground ourselves with an earth cord. So we can imagine a really beautiful cord deep in the earth. And it's going to travel up through the earth soil to attach to the bottom of our group container, a group bubble. And this earth cord can be like an earthy color. It could be green. It could be gold and shimmer. Just trust the imagery that shows for you. And we're also going to welcome in universal energy. So let's imagine that above our group container, above the bubble, we're going to bring in a cord from the universe. So let's imagine again that really beautiful energy, divine love and light, golden light and sparkles, and just allow it to pour into our container. We're welcoming in earth energy, universal energy. Let's also welcome in our spirit guides and our vaster wisdom and ask them to collaborate for our highest good today. And we're going to set some intentions. We're going to set the intention that all of us are welcome here today. It's a safe space to learn more about ourselves, more about Ireland, the land, maybe ancestry. This is a space where we can do really big healing work and trust that whatever is needed for our breakthrough happens today. This is a space where our own intuition is in charge and available. This is a space of exploration, where we get to lean into our intuition. And let's also set the intention to respectfully connect to the energies of Newgrange and collaborate with the vortex, supporting it in its purpose and allowing it to support us right back wherever we are in our lives. Set the intention that energies that are ready to be released get to be released really gently and sweetly, and that we integrate blessings and upgrades with lots of joy and gratitude in a higher knowing. And if you have your own personal intention that you'd like to set, I invite you to do so in your own mind now. Now we can welcome in earth energy and universal energy into our bubble to collaborate with all of our intentions. And the earth's going to provide her insights and wisdom. And we invite in the wisdom of the universe. So let's bring our attention to our personal aura. And our aura is the magnetic field that surrounds us. So it's our own energetic bubble. And we can imagine that our own energetic bubble, our aura, it's about maybe 3 foot all the way around. And we're going to ground ourselves. So let's imagine, again, a really beautiful cord deep in the earth. And this earth cord moves up through the soil, all the way up to attach to the bottom of your feet, to the bottom of your aura. Let's allow this earth cord to get as wide as your aura. And just give your aura full permission just to exhale into the earth. We're also going to set the intention, any energy that's in my aura, any energy that's in our field that is inauthentic to you gets to be released now into that earth cord. And you can just allow your intuition to find any inauthentic energies and send them down into the earth. And the earth will compost and recycle and heal any energies that don't belong to us. We're also going to call in divine love and light. We can imagine streams of grace or universal energy. I like to imagine golden light with lots of sparkles pouring over us through the 7 layers of our aura, through our energy body. And like the sun, it just burns away any energy that doesn't belong to us. And moving down into our lower centers, into the earth. And we're going to ask our spirit guides to recall our authentic energies. So let's make a symbol that represents your authentic energy. And again, just trust whatever your intuition shows you. It could be a shape that pops into your head, maybe a star, a seashell. Maybe it's a spiral. Just allow your intuition to choose a symbol that represents your authentic energy. And allow that symbol to sit in front of you. And our spirit guides are going to recall our authentic energies into that symbol from all dimensions of space and time. Our spirit guides are also going to recall our soul fragments, fragments of our identity. And your guides are going to update, enhance, and empower your energies. Imagine that symbol gets blessed up and healed. Notice what color your authentic energy is. Notice if there's a mix of colors. Notice what vibe your energy has. And your guides are now going to beam your energies in from the bottom of your feet all the way up to the top of your head. Nice and slowly, just filling in any gaps, any spaces. Now that we're resourced, we're connected to the earth and the universe. We've sent energy back to its highest self, and we've recalled our own authentic energy. We're resourced and we're ready to enter Newgrange. It's always good to kind of get a pulse and notice how you feel now. Notice if you feel more empowered. So let's imagine that we're, as a group, walking into Newgrange. As we walk up the path, we can kind of feel the excitement, the joy that's there. We see the passage tomb, the big mound. We also see the curbstones. And we also see those guardians, those kind of spiritual protectors that are around Newgrange. And we're going to say hello. And the guardians here are really stoic but kind. And they're doing really important work here. So we're going to honor them. We can offer them a whole rainbow of energies. And to show our gratitude, we can offer them a whole ocean of gratitude. Maybe a whole mountain of incense. We can imagine frankincense and myrrh kind of burning and wafting over Newgrange. And we're going to thank them for their work. Thank them for protecting the energy here. And we're going to also introduce ourselves, what our name is, where we're from, why we're here. We're here to learn. We're here to honor and be in collaboration with nature. We can also ask the guardians, is there anything that they need? Sometimes places will ask you to pick up any trash that's around, or they may ask for gifts. And we can offer energetic gifts, we can offer love. Sometimes I like to imagine that I'm offering sacred tobacco and quartz. And let's again show our gratitude. Let's imagine that we're pouring love and gratitude energy to the guardians. And we're going to ask permission to enter the passage tomb to visit the vortex. So let's imagine that we're walking around that entrance stone and into the passage tomb. And as we enter, we notice that the floor, that the earth beneath us begins to open, and it reveals a spiral staircase deep into the earth. So we begin to descend the spiral staircase, moving deeper and deeper into the earth. And we've lots of space. We feel calm. We can start to pick up the energy of the vortex, remembering this is its home and we're visiting its home. So as we descend further, we begin to see a light. So as we walk down into the earth, following the light, notice what colors are present. I like to make a symbol when I'm collaborating with energy. So let's make a symbol that represents the vortex today. Maybe you see a spiral or 3 spirals. Maybe there's one color that's really dominant. Maybe it's blue or gold. Notice how big the vortex is. Feel how immense and expansive it is. Notice how beautiful it is. So now that we can see the vortex, the symbol of the vortex right in front of us, we're going to say hello. We're going to introduce ourselves. And we're going to honor it and give thanks. So let's send again really beautiful energies to this symbol. We can imagine that it's being washed over with divine love and light, that golden energy full of sparkles. We can imagine that we're giving our gratitude and our thanks. We can offer it a whole sky of flowers. I like to imagine daisies. And choose whatever flowers you want to offer. And we're going to ask the vortex what it needs from us. So how can we support the vortex? And again, just listen to your intuition. Trust what comes up. You can make a commitment if that feels good. And now we're going to introduce ourselves more fully to the vortex. So let's tell the vortex who we are, where we live, where we're from, what year it is, what your hopes and dreams are, and anything that you would like support with. We can even ask the vortex if it has any healings for us, any upgrades or blessings that would help us in whatever area of our life we need, or maybe just even to become a better person. So we're going to actually ask the vortex now to heal us, or for these upgrades. And Newgrange is very, very generous and is really excited for this work. So we can imagine that there is a white light from the symbol, and that white light begins to move into your solar plexus, into your stomach area. And again, this is the highest light resonance. It's a divine intelligence that's rooted in the earth, but contains all the mysticism and divinity of the universe. And this energy begins to swirl in the solar plexus from left to right. It first travels through the upper body, through the upper energy centers, moving into the heart chakra, into the chest area. We can see this energy kind of moving now into our throat chakra. And again, as it's moving and swirling through our throat, it's gently dissolving energy, releasing energy that no longer serves us, upgrading our energy now, making so much space for our essence. And this energy, this white light, begins to move up into our mind's eye, into our brow chakra, the space between our eyes. And again, dissolving any energy that's stagnant, any energy that's blocking our vision, our true vision, and our connection with our mind's eye. And any upgrades that are ready to take place are going to happen and integrate really sweetly. And this energy is then going to move into our crown chakra, at the crown of our head, imagining this white light, the highest light, swirling from left to right, opening the crown, making space for more of our essence to be embodied. And this light is going to move beyond the crown and into the universe. We can imagine, we can call it into the heavens. Just imagine this light is pouring through the upper chakras. And this light is infused with divine light, the highest frequency to accommodate our higher energy centers. It's perfect. It's divine perfection. And now we can imagine that this symbol begins to pour more light into our solar plexus. And this white light begins to move and swirl through our solar plexus one more time. Our third energy center, our center of self-esteem and self-worth, our sense of self and power. Again, dissolving any energy that it no longer serves us. Collaborating with our soul and our essence so that we can embody more of our authentic self and move from a space of power, authentic power. And this energy from the solar plexus, it has a denser quality. It's to complement and honor the human makeup and help us to ground ourselves, to honor and stay connected to the earth. And this energy is now going to travel from the solar plexus in our stomach down to our feet. So let's imagine this solar plex energy begins to turn again like a wheel left to right, moving into your second energy center below your navel. And we're going to invite this energy to infuse our sacral center, bringing more light and healing energy. Dissolving any energy that's ready to be released, sweetly and gently. And this energy is going to move into the base of our spine, our root chakra. Continuing to swirl and upgrade our energy. We're going to allow this energy, this light to fill our legs, our knees, all the way down to our feet. And we're going to give this light permission to go beyond the body into the earth and also into our bones. Allowing this light to fill our blood, upgrading, healing muscles and organs, enlivening our cells and our skin, allowing our body to become brighter and healthy, to be filled with more vitality. We can imagine that this energy begins to spin and swirl around the body, integrating at a way that respects us on a soul level and on a human level. Imagine that the light is infusing every cell. Our whole body is vibrating at a higher frequency. And we can just give ourselves full permission to soak up this light. Allow it to fill any spaces and any gaps. Infusing denser areas that are ready to be transmuted or released. Let's imagine that this energy moves from the body into our aura as the vortex continues to pour this light, this white light into our aura, allowing it to wash over our entire being, moving through our energy centers, the 7 layers of our aura, we're going to give ourselves full permission to heal and evolve. Let's imagine that the vortex now begins to release this energy. We can allow it to integrate into our system, into our energy body, into our aura. Let's refresh our grounding cord. So let's imagine a brand new earth cord deep in the earth and allow it to travel up to attach to the bottom of your feet, refreshing your connection to the earth. Now that you've transformed some of your energy, We're going to make sure we've realigned our connection to the earth. We're also going to give permission for any structures in our aura that are ready to be released, can be released now, really gently into the earth. And we can ask the earth to find auspicious and supportive energy structures that are able to structure our energy. We can imagine earth energy filling our aura. Let's ask our spirit guides to recall our authentic energies. So again, bringing that symbol that represents your authentic energy in front of you. And asking our guides to recall our authentic energies, any soul fragments, any identity fragments. And our guides are going to enhance, empower, bless our energies, update them. We can even allow the vortex to bless these authentic energies. And watch as the vortex updates, upgrades our authentic energies to who we are now. And we're going to beam these energies in from the bottom of our feet all the way up to the top of our head, filling in any spaces and any gaps. And I think it's a good idea to take a moment to ask yourself this question in your own mind. We're going to ask the vortex. Everybody will be different. We're going to ask the vortex, how long should we wait before we are finished our transformation, before the upgrades are integrated fully? And notice if you get a number. It might be days or weeks or months. Sometimes it's a good idea later to put this in your calendar so you remember. And you can look back and notice if anything shifted, if more joy was brought into your life, if your relationships have improved, if you've got more confidence to pursue your passions. When I first visited Newgrange, it told me to wait 5 weeks. And in 5 weeks, I felt a breakthrough. And in 5 months, I felt an even bigger breakthrough. So let's give thanks and send loving, healing energies back to the vortex. We're going to thank it for the healing and how generous it is. Thank it for blessing us. And just as we bless the vortex will bless us right back. Kind of remembering that vortex is our full spectrum. They have emotions, they have their own hopes and dreams. So you can gush on the vortex if you want. Tell it how amazing it felt, how grateful you are. So let's imagine a whole rainbow of frequencies, a rainbow of energies pouring over the symbol of the vortex. So the vortex gets full permission to ask for whatever it needs and whatever it wants from the earth and from the universe. We can open our heart and send loving energies to the vortex. So we're going to say goodbye. Bye for now. And we're going to begin to ascend back up that spiral staircase. Walk back up the stairs. And as we ascend, we can see the passage tomb, back to the surface of the earth. And we can watch as the earth closes behind us. And we can exit the tomb. We're going to thank the guardians. So let's again offer our gratitude and really beautiful energies. We can bring in that ocean of gratitude. We can again bring in the flowers, a sky full of flowers, showing our love and appreciation. And as we begin to leave Newgrange, the land, we're going to clean up any energetic debris, any of our energy. We're going to take it with us, okay? So one of the ways that Newgrange likes to cleanse its environment is using the element of wind. So let's imagine a wind picking up from the east and it moving through the land of Newgrange, above the earth and below the earth, picking up any energetic debris, anything that's inauthentic to the land, and allowing it to move into the universe, into the west, where it's going to be recycled by the universe. And now we're going to imagine we're back in our group container, we're back in our bubble. We're going to consciously send back each other's energy and recall our own authentic energies. Maybe one last time, let's bring in that symbol that represents your authentic energy. Your guides are going to recall your authentic energies, enhance them, love them up, bless them, update them, and then beam them in again from the bottom of your feet all the way up to the top of your head. And now that we're in our container, we can set the intention that the work that we did here today and the healing energy, we can ask that this was beginning to integrate 1 month ago, so that it integrates really gently and sweetly. We're going to thank the earth for its contribution and wisdom and insight. As we thank the earth, we're going to send it blessings. And just as we bless the earth blesses us right back. We're going to thank the universe for its support and wisdom and insight, and bless the universe. And just as we bless the universe blesses us right back. And we're also going to thank our spirit guides and our vaster wisdom. And again, sending lots of love and gratitude to our guides, blessing our guides. And just as we bless them, they bless us right back. Allow yourself to receive blessings. And whenever you're ready, you can take your time to open your eyes and come back to the Zoom, come back to the chat. So I hope people enjoyed that. When I first did this meditation with Newgrange, I felt previously, before I did the meditation, I was feeling really kind of crappy. I was like sad and my energy just felt super dense. And when I did the meditation with Newgrange, I just felt enlivened and I was almost giddy and hyper and actually couldn't sleep that night. So but I still had energy the next day. Yeah, I do it today and I feel pretty calm, but I definitely feel there was a shift in my own energy. I feel a little bit lighter. Specifically, I feel like my heart chakra receive maybe upgrades. So the more we do this work, the more practice we have, our visualization gets stronger. We can feel more in the body or in the energy field. But no, if you can't feel much, or your visualization isn't as strong, know that it's still happening, it's still working, and with practice it does get stronger, it gets easier. And if you totally passed out, that's okay too. I have in many meditations, not my own, but when I'm listening to my teacher's meditations or other ones, even though there's a lot of work involved, where we're visualizing, or there's still lots of symbolism and interaction with energies, it's still possible to go into a really deep state. And I find that our subconscious is still working. So yeah, I welcome any questions that people have. And if people need to leave, I totally respect that. And again, thank you so much for showing up for the land today. As I said, it takes a lot of vulnerability, a lot of courage to be curious. And yeah, so you should be proud of yourself. And I'm grateful that you're here today. So thank you. I'm going to stop the recording, but I'll